Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a quick review of the email marketing software called GetResponse to help you figure out whether or not this email marketing software is right for you and your business. The goal of this video is to give you an idea of some of the experiences that I've had with GetResponse since I've started using it. GetResponse has a 30-day free trial available from the link down below in the description. So click on that link, get your free GetResponse account set up and running, and feel free to follow along. Once you log into your GetResponse account, you should see a page quite similar to this. Click on this blue plus icon down here to bring up what's called the widget library. This basically allows you to personalize your dashboard with certain widgets that you can choose from here. I think you can put them all on if you want to, or pick and choose which ones you want to see. I personally like to see my newsletter stats and landing page stats, but there's quite a wide array of widgets to choose from. Now, the quickest way to get around GetResponse is to click on this menu icon at the top left corner of the screen. If you click there, you'll get shortcuts to all the various tools that GetResponse offers. But when talking about email marketing, the first thing we should mention is lists. Lists are how you organize your email subscribers in GetResponse. To create a list, click on Create List and then give your list a name. Remember, your contacts in this list will be able to see this list name at the bottom of any email that you send. So make sure you give it a friendly name. I'm just going to put that one in and hit Create. And there is our list, which is going to hold all of our email subscribers. So how do we actually send emails to these subscribers? Well, to do that, go back to the menu icon at the top left. Now there's a bunch of stuff in here that you'll probably never use. I never use stores and products, files and images, webinars I don't use, as well as forms and surveys. Autoresponders, that's old. That's now been replaced with this feature called automation, which is how we set up these emails. So click on automation, then click on automation messages, and then create automation message beta. So this is GetResponse's new email designer. It's a lot better than the old one, in my opinion. It's more modern and easier to get around. How it works is at the top here, you just put in a title for your message. Only you will see this, or anyone that has access to your GetResponse account. It's just for your reference, so call whatever you want. So I'm going to call mine message 1, and make sure you select the right email list. I'm going to select the one that I made earlier on in this video. Subject line is obviously what the subject line will be in the email that you send out to your subscribers. So for example, I'm just going to say, here's your free ebook. And then down here is where you design the actual email that you're sending out. So this is where you can pick from many different email templates from GetResponse. They all are very well designed and very professional, and it's very easy just to pick one, change some of the text on it, and have a very well designed email quickly. However, personally, I like to just create a blank email and send just plain text emails, as that gives my messages the best chance of staying outside of the spam folder. So I'm just going to pick blank template. This brings us to the email editor, where you can drag all these elements onto the layout here on the left. I'm going to drag in a text element. You can have a bunch of other stuff such as images, buttons, videos, social media links, but I'll try and keep those to a minimum, because if you have like 20 images on your email, then it's going to make it more likely to go into the spam folder. So try and keep those at sort of, 1 or 2 max. So to add text to the email, just click on the text element that we just added. I'm just going to write a really quick email. You'll probably want to write a bit of a longer one, but just to save time, I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for signing up. Click here to download your free ebook. To add a link in, just highlight the text that you want to add the link in, scroll to the right a little bit, and you'll find this chain icon. Click on that, and then you'll want to paste in a link. I'm just going to pick a random link from that list that popped up, and then just hit insert to add the link. And then hit next when you've done your email. Once it loads, it will bring you back to this email designer that we saw before. So we have our message title, we have our subject line, and we've designed our email. I've never had any issues with this whole email designing process before, so I can definitely vouch for its quality. All that's left to do now is just hit save and finish. As you can see, message 1 has now been added to the list of automation messages. Now to send this email, we need to set up what's called a automation workflow. To do that, click on workflows over here and then click on create workflow. So here we have a bunch of automation workflow templates to choose from. For this video, I'm just going to select build from scratch and create a custom one. But bear in mind, you can only create a custom automation workflow if you're on the plus plan or above. If you're on basic, you'll need to pick one of these templates. So I recommend getting plus. So I'm going to select build from scratch. If you're new to automation workflows, you might as well read this kind of intro that they have, but if not, then you can just tick got it, don't show this again, and then hit the arrow. So here is where we're going to set up our email automation workflow. So give it a name. I'm just going to say workflow 1, and start the process when someone, and then you can pick a bunch of these options here. So for example, you can kick off this process when someone subscribes to a certain list, or when someone clicks a link on one of your emails, any one of these. And for this video, I'm just going to pick subscribes. So this is where we define the actual process of our workflow. On the right over here, we have these elements sorted into conditions, actions, and filters. I'm going to start by dragging a send message action onto the workflow and then connect these two up like so. So then as soon as anyone subscribes to our email list, we're going to send them an email. Come to properties and use this drop down to select a message to send. I'm going to choose the one I just made earlier. So what we can do now is come back to add elements and use these conditions to kind of create like a custom workflow that's based on the actions of our subscribers. So if I drag in this message opened element, connect that to the message we just sent, we can now say if they didn't open the newsletter, then we can send them a completely different message, or send them the same one with maybe a different title, whatever you want to do. If they did open that, then we can wait a day or 2 days, however many days you want to wait. You can set that in properties. So let's say we want to do 2 days, definitely not 20, 2 days, there we go. And then send them another message after that. Just drag in another send message element, connect them up, select it, go to properties and select your message. So there's a bunch of other stuff we can do now. We can split test emails using the splitter down here, so you can send a certain email 50% of the time and another email the other 50% of the time, so you can test which one's better. You also have scoring and tagging, so you can assign a certain tag to someone, or maybe you can give someone a point every time they open one of your emails, and then up here under conditions you have if score is whatever, you can send a certain message, or if they have a certain tag on them, you could do something else. This, in my opinion, is one of the best features of GetResponse. To me, it makes it stand out amongst its competitors. But as I said before, you can only create these custom workflows if you're on the plus plan or above. So just keep that in mind. But once you've finished your automation workflow, come up here to the top right where it says save and publish, and then hit save and publish. Now that workflow is published, so that as soon as anyone signs up to that email list, they'll get put into that workflow and they'll receive emails automatically, just like we set up. Now I'm going to show you the GetResponse landing page builder, and we're going to make a quick opt-in form for the email list we just made. So to get to the landing page builder, come to the menu icon at the top left and then click on landing pages. Then click on create landing page, and we have a bunch of templates to choose from again. Now the landing page builder with GetResponse is quite fiddly and clunky to use, so I wouldn't recommend building one from scratch. I would actually pick a template and then change things around a little bit. I'll recommend for an opt-in form, use one of the sign up and registration templates. I'm just going to pick a random one from here and enter a name for your landing page. I'm just going to say YT landing page, and you can preview the landing page and the thank you page here as well, and then hit next step when you're ready. Once that's loaded, you'll be brought to this landing page editor where you can double click all these elements and change the text and size and color and all that kind of stuff. You can move these images around, add in new elements if you want to. Just double click whatever you want to edit. Down here is where they're going to put in their name and email address. Once they hit get it, they'll be added to your email list and then forwarded to the thank you page, which you can access over here. Again, just double click and you can edit all this stuff. Click on the mobile icon up here to see or to create a mobile version of these landing pages, which is quite important. So hit that, make sure it all lines up well. You can do that for both pages, and once you're happy with your landing page, just hit next step. That brings us to the landing page settings. You can just ignore most of these, scroll down to subscription settings, choose list. That one is the email list that the subscriber is going to get added to when they complete the opt-in form we just made. So I'm going to pick the one from earlier on in this video. Confirm opt-in. I personally turn that off. What that does is it sends another email out to your subscriber as soon as they sign up, and they basically have to confirm manually that they want to be added to your list. So I turn it off, but that's up to you. Add into cycle on day, I would turn it off because that is related to the autoresponder, which has now been replaced with automation, like I said earlier on. So I'll turn that off, and you can just leave default thank you page and then hit publish. So now our landing page has been published. This is our link up here. If we click on that, we can then see our landing page in the browser. This is the landing page we just made, and if we scroll down here, if someone puts in their name and email address here, they would have signed up to your email list. They would get the initial email that we made, and they'll be added to the automation workflow that we just made earlier on. So now I'm going to show you how to make a newsletter, which is just a one-off email that you send out to a certain list. It's not part of any, automation workflow kind of thing. It's just a one-off email that you send out to your subscribers. So the quick way to do it is just use quick actions here. You can hit create newsletter. But if you don't have that on your dashboard, go to menu, email marketing, and then either create newsletter or create newsletter beta, which I'll do this one. So when that loads, you'll be brought to this form which we've seen before when we made the automation messages earlier on. So I won't actually fill this out because you've seen this before, but you just need your title, your subject line of the email. Recipients is the actual list that you want to send this newsletter out to. So just pick that. Design and content, this is just that email designer where you drag in the text elements and then type in your text. Click tracking, you probably want that on because it just tracks like click-through rates for links in emails and stuff like that, so you might as well keep it on. And then when would you like to send this message? Either send immediately or you can schedule it to be sent out later on. And then there's another feature that GetResponse has called perfect timing. What that does basically is it tracks when each subscriber is most likely to open your emails, and it will send that email out as when they're most likely to open it. So that's another feature that GetResponse provides that I think puts it above its competitors. So I recommend turning that on because I think you get better open rates with it. At least I do. And then hit send message when you're ready to send your newsletter. So the last thing to go over in this video, guys, is the different pricing tiers of GetResponse. So there's 4 of them. There's basic, plus, professional, and enterprise. I think pretty much everyone watching this video would probably be fine with either basic or plus, but bear in mind, like I said earlier on, the basic plan doesn't come with the custom automation workflow. You have to use the templates that they have. So I recommend plus, and then of course you can adjust the list size to however many contacts that you have, and obviously the price goes up depending on how many people you have on your list. So I recommend plus, and then you can always just adjust your list size as your list grows. So that's about it for this GetResponse review. I think it's a great email marketing service for any level of online business. It provides features that most of its competitors don't actually provide for a competitive price, so I can definitely recommend it. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. I have a link on the screen now to another video I've made, which is a step-by-step tutorial on how to build an email list very quickly. So hopefully you'll find that useful. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Get your GetResponse free trial from the description down below, and thank you very much for watching.